Jordan, is it on? Is it on? Is this bitch recording? What's up, everybody? This is your girl, T.S. Madison, coming to you loud, live, and always and forever in color from the Outlaws podcast. Now, baby, listen, I tell y'all, I bring y'all the most interesting, outspoken, outlaw individuals on planet Earth. And today I have my good girlfriend that I love that cuss almost equally as worse as me. She's an Aries, and anytime y'all hear me talking about Aries, bitch, you know what that means. She will fight, okay? Fight, shoot, and get to the money. Bitch, put y'all hands together for my dog, Miss Pat. Miss Pat, what's up, baby?
Hey, sweetheart.
Now, look at her. I done gave her all this shit, and she come here with this, hey, sweetheart. She want to come in all soft and shit like that.
I mean, I guess that's how people introduce me. She'll stab a bitch.
Yeah, you would.
I used to. I'm not fighting no more, T.S. I'm 53. I'm old. I'm going to get my ass whooped, but I'm going to talk some shit. It takes a lot for me to fight. Plus, I got a few little coins. People don't fight people with coins. They sue them.
Yeah, they sue.
So I leave people the fuck alone.
Yeah. I think I'm in that space now too, Miss Pat.
I just say talk your shit, and I'm gonna keep on walking.
It's speaking of got a little coin. Miss Pat, I just received a stack of checks like this from you.
Oh,
from the Miss Pat Settles It show.
Oh, thank you. I'm so happy
Listen,
for you.
I just received a stack of checks. I ain't even cashed them bitches yet.
Well, damn.
Yeah.
You not like me. I take my residual straight to the bank. It could be 27 cents. I want to deposit this bitch. I worked hard. I waited on this 27 cents. I just took one the other day for $1.07. And she looked at me and I looked at her like, it's a check.
Yes, it is, man.
It's gonna clear.
It's gonna clear.
It's through SAG, so put it in the bank.
I run it.
Yes.
Miss Pat, I just want to say, I was so happy that Jordan introduced us with each other. Jordan introduced me to you years ago. We were at a Out 100 a party. And they were honoring, who the fuck was they honoring? They were honoring somebody, and I got a little honor somewhere in there. And we were at the party, and before we went in, Jordan loved on me, hugged on me, kissed on me. He said, bitch, I got this show that's coming. It's called the Miss Pat Show. He said, and I've been working with Miss Pat he said, do you know Miss Pat? I say, she a comedian, and she cuss like me. And he said, yeah, y'all cussing shit alike, and you know what? This was years ago, Miss Pat.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember him calling you on the phone. We was outside of the event, and he called you on the phone, and I got in there, and I said, girl, what's the tea, girl? And me and you key, you said, bitch, you be doing all that cussing and shit on there, and so whatever. And we just clicked right there on the phone, and I said, I love her. I want you to know, I knew that we was going to work together from that day. I knew it. I knew we was going to work together. I knew we were going to do stuff together. I just knew. And this was before your show
came out
and even got real big as this, because your show is huge.
Yes, it is. I mean, we on BT Plus, but at least people notice us. Sometimes you can go on a smaller network and get lost. And thank God the Miss Pat show never got lost. And back to Jordan, when we was putting this show together, and one thing I can say about Jordan, he's gonna look out for his community. And my daughter is gay also. Mm-hmm. So he just had a list of people. He said, we have to give them a job. And I remember your name coming up several times. I was like, what we gonna put at? What we gonna do with her? And he was like, I'm gonna create something for her right here. And we created that bunch
of Shirley, goddamn Shirley.
And brought you back.
I fucked my line up 1,300 times.
I told you, this bitch can't act.
Yeah.
He said, I don't give a fuck. He looked at me and said, you can't act either.
Well, it was because I was nervous.
You was. And that's why we calmed you down and we gave you the acting coach that was working with me. And you was great.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, we got to bring her back. And as soon as we came up with the idea of the court show and we partnered with $4.95, the first thing he said, we got to go get T.S. Madison.
Yeah.
And that's what he said.
And there we go. Miss Pat settles it, boy. Listen, Miss Pat, I want to tell you, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Because you've been 100% authentically yourself from the door. Like, you know how a bitch come in there and they get a little break and shit? And then
They
it's like,
change.
I
hate people who talk out their nose.
can't stand that bullshit.
I always say, bitch, talk to me like you talk to your creditor. You don't talk to your creditor. Bitch, that ain't how you talk to your creditor. You tell I ain't got it, or you hang up on them. I need your real voice.
Yeah.
And if you talk fake, I cannot be around you.
I can't fuck with you.
I cannot fuck with you.
Yeah. And Miss Pat, the reason why I feel that your show is so successful, the Miss Pat show is so successful, because it mimics your life.
It does.
It is your life.
It is.
It's your life story, and you are able to cuss.
I'm able to be myself.
Yourself.
And what people don't understand is what you see in that Miss Pat show is about 95% of me outside. You know, I talk shit. I say, I'm 53, and I've learned a long time ago, I'm not going to hold in anything to make you comfortable. I don't care what type of setting you got me in, what type of means I'm in. I'm always going to come in. I'm going to walk in there as myself, and I'm going to walk out of there. I'm going to walk out of there as myself. Because one thing I learned about Hollywood, if you fuck around, they will frame you into something that you're not. Mm-hmm. And I'm not frameable. You can see I got a lot of curves.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, and I just always talk, even when me and Jordan first got together, one of the things we promised each other, we said we would always stick with each other and we would never let them tear us apart. And let me tell you something, in this business, they have tried. They have tried to tear our relationship apart. They was like, hey, you over here, he over here. We was like, no. We're going to always be together. Whether we're working on a Miss Pat show or we're not even working on the same project, we're always there for each other. And that's hard to find in Hollywood, somebody who truly care about you. Because people just care about you for the opportunity. Mm-hmm. That's one person I can truly say that would love me if I didn't have a dime in my pocket. Yeah. That's who's in this business.
I'm telling you, he does. Because when we were outside the Out 100 party, he was like, T.S., I got to get you in front of me. I got to let y'all talk. He says, y'all got some of the same kind of spirit. I said, what's her sign? I remember, he said, I think she Aries. I said, bitch, my mama Aries. I said, I know she a fighter. Yes. I know this. And you know, you met my mom.
Yes, I have, several times.
Yeah, and she loved you. And I said, Mama, the reason why you love Miss Pat is because both of y'all Aries.
Yeah.
And y'all got them same. And you know, I terrorizes my mama. Miss Pat, remember we was together at the candy show?
Oh, yeah.
We did the candy show. And I said, what I said to my mom about her in that wheelchair, and she was over there in her push chair, and I said something, and you was like, T.S., you be saying that stuff to your mama? I say, Miss Pat,
your mom be saying shit to you too.
She be saying that shit. She love that shit. She love it. And it's just like, you know, Libra and Aries are like polar are mirror reflections of each other.
I didn't know that.
Libra sign and Aries are and that's why we fuss and fight. But we got so many characteristics of each other because we like mirror reflections of each other. Yeah. So do you got any Libra kids?
I don't think so. I don't fucking know when my kids are. You know what? When I stop filing income tax form, I forget their birthday. I forget their first names. I be calling them the wrong name. They're like, I'm not Junebug. I be like, well, shit, everybody's Junebug. So they get on me all the time. You don't even know our names. No, I don't give a fuck because I don't get a tax return for you niggas no more. So I mix up the girl's name. I mix up everybody's name. So I don't know. I mean, sometimes I forget their birthdays.
Well, you got a lot going on.
I do. And then I'm going through menopause. I'm 53. I'm old. I don't have time. I'm traveling all the time. I'm in my own world. The kids are grown. I have grandkids. You know, they only want me for shit I can buy. I'm a sexual active grandmama, so I ain't keeping nobody.
Wait a minute, you say you're a sexually active grandma? Shit, I'm
not babysitting. I'm not, I talk to my girlfriend all the time, and she's such a sweet grandmama. And I was like, the shit her granddaughter do, I be telling my granddaughter, get the fuck out my face. Fuck, I go on somewhere. Take your ass on over there with your mom and dad now. I love you, but not like that. But my friends, they treat their grandkids like queens and kings. I cuss mine the fuck out.
Yeah, because that's just you.
I do, and I love them. But my grandson told me, he said, he told his mom, he said, I know what my grandmama's so mean. She said, why? He said, because I Google her on the internet and her mama beat her. I said, boy, get your ass off YouTube.
Sit your nose ass down. Now, that's a great segue for me because I really want to know, what is your origin story, Miss Pat? I mean, for those of people that are watching the Outlaw show, we've watched the Miss Pat show. How much of the Miss Pat show is totally Miss Pat?
The first three, probably the first 3-4 seasons was 95%. Jordan was just pulling from my life. It might be a few things here and there that, happened to somebody else we know, but most of that stuff happened to me. And he just wrote it. So about 95% of the Miss Pat show is real. And I think that's why people love it. Two of the episodes that I always think back to, one was the black hair episode, and the other one was when I found out my daughter was gay. The reaction that I had as a black parent. Because, growing up in a black household, you're taught if you gay, is something wrong with you. Mm-hmm. And then when, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not going to use the word hate, but I could not stand lesbian women. I've been to prison, and I've never had a lesbian relationship. I just did not like lesbian women.
Why?
Because I'm black and I was taught not to like them. Oh. Gay men were okay. Gay men was okay.
Just okay.
Well, I can deal with a man easily than I could do with a woman anyway. But a gay man was okay. I didn't really have a problem with a gay man. Back in those days, you used the word sissy.
Yeah.
But when it came down to women, I did not. My daughter had a gay cheerleading coach, a white lady. And I could not stand this lady. She had never done anything to me. It was the bullshit that I was taught as a black kid to hate. I don't even know if I hated her. I just did not like her. And every day we would argue. And I was like, white bitch, I would kill you. I'm telling you. And it was my daughter cheerleading coach. And now me and the lady is very cool, not knowing that my damn daughter was gay. And so, I think a lot of times as people in this world, it don't affect you until it comes to your door.
Yeah.
And when it came to my doorstep, and I realized how gay people was treated, because by this time, I have a gay daughter, and I love my gay daughter. I mean, a sensor went off, and I was like, I'm not taking this shit. I must ask for forgiveness, and nobody will ever talk to my daughter the way I talked to that coach or treated that coach. I just did not like her. And it was all because of her sexuality, because that's what I was taught. But when my daughter came out and said she was gay, I knew immediately I had to protect her. Because there was some bitch out there was going to act like that with my daughter the way I act.
And you was like, I ain't going to let that bitch do my daughter the way
Ain't nobody going to do my daughter like that.
Yeah.
I lost friends and everything after my daughter came out and said she was gay.
Why?
Because they was like, I had one friend say, I know you embarrassed that your daughter's gay. I said, bitch, you should be embarrassed that your daughter taking all that dick that ain't staying around. Fuck are you talking about? I ain't embarrassed about my motherfucking daughter. And I just immediately went on a rant where, you got to fight Christians, then you got to fight the people who don't understand. I had a Christian friend of mine tell me, she said, oh, we're going to pray the gay out of Ashley. I said, bitch, I ain't going to pray no gay out of Ashley. I fuck around and pray for Ashley, and I can't get to heaven because I don't pray for Ashley. I'm going to mind my motherfucking business. That ain't me eating the pussy. That's her eating the pussy. And you let her and God deal with that shit the way they going to deal with it. All I'm going to be is mama. I'm not going to go out here and tell nobody. I want nobody to pray the Chick-fil-A out of me.
Right.
So what the fuck I'm gonna pray the pussy out of my daughter for? Let my daughter eat pussy. If she choose to eat pussy, them are her teeth. God gave them to her. I don't give a fuck. All I tell my daughter, eat pussy that don't leak. And then you gonna be all right. I'm sorry, can I curse?
Oh, you can do anything you want over here.
But,
you with TS.
Okay. But those are the things that I went through as a gay parent. And then it just opened my eyes, and I didn't realize how big the gay community was. And I didn't realize how many people turn their backs on their kids for their sexuality. That's one thing I can always say. I never done that. I've met a lot of kids through my daughter who was thrown out, who was fucking shunned and all of that stuff. I've never done that. I started fighting from day one when my daughter came out and said she was pregnant. I wish. But, no, I don't. My daughter got too many hoes to be, anyway.
I love your daughter. I love her.
I do too. And you know what? I'm happy to see her happy. And I tell people all the time, I'm a gay parent. That's my gay baby. Now, I can talk about it, but you can't fucking talk about it. And those are some of the things that I had to fight through when my daughter came out. Just people that I thought were my friends and just people who was super religious. I don't give a fuck about your religion. According to the world, we all are serving the same God, and he supposedly loves us all. So I don't think he would have created you gay if he and say he didn't love you. He loves us all.
Yeah.
Because one of the biggest things I fight when I'm talking about my gay daughters, people like, you're not born gay. Yes, the fuck you are.
Yeah.
My daughter came out my pussy licking her fingers. I know she was born gay. She was born gay. Yeah. And I think it because her daddy was undercover gay.
You know, you never can. I tell people all the time, Miss Pat. I say, trans kids.
There wasn't no trans when I was coming up. I'm 53, so it was a transvestite.
Yeah. Cross-dressers.
Yeah, cross-dressers.
Okay. All right. I'm glad we
And they didn't look as good as you.
Well.
They couldn't get rid of their chin hair. These motherfuckers today look better than some of us bitches.
Them bitches be up.
I be looking at trans, be like, what the fuck did you do that I forgot to do with the pussy? You motherfuckers are gorgeous.
But this is the thing, Miss Pat. I tell people this when we're having these conversations. We're black.
Yes.
We're black. And we ain't just black. We some niggas.
Yes, we are.
And so we niggas from nigga places. And so I got in trouble recently online because I had said, what I said about, okay. Now, y'all don't get mad at me in the booth and y'all out there because, you know, I'm just reliving a story, and I'm also sitting with a black woman. I was raised by a black woman. So you raised your daughter. So but I'm still queer, trans, whatever. So the teachers that y'all put them teachers in us. And we had to go around and not like ourselves a little bit because our parents they didn't like gay people. They ain't like gay people and shit. So we didn't like ourselves. It was shit that we didn't like. We had to really learn to love ourselves and then live out loud and then tell our parents, like, fuck that. This who I am. You gotta take it. But again, this is a woman that's sitting across from me right now, ladies and gentlemen, who I can validly say, when we were growing up, Miss Pat, you 53, I'm 48 this year. When I'm growing up, you was a punk.
A punk.
A sissy.
I think it's with the punk.
Punk. You was a punk, a sissy, a dyke.
Yes.
Bulldagger.
Yes.
This is what it was. So you didn't know any other terms.
No, we did not.
So all these new terms.
It's very confusing for a 53-year. I actually tell a bit about it. I say, gay people, can we just get back to being gay? I don't give a fuck what you identify as. Just tell me your name so I can respect you. I don't care if you're a lesbian with a dildo ascot. If you want me to call you Big Dick Willie, bitch, Big Dick Willie it is. Just tell me your name. I don't need to know your pronouns and ABCs and DFCs. Just tell me your names. And I think that's where the straight world kind of, get like, oh, every time you turn around, it's something new. I don't care what your pronouns are. Just tell me your name. Whatever if you want me to call you T.S. Madison, it's T.S. Madison. On Wednesday, if you call me and say, bitch, I'm Willie today, it's Willie. Just tell me your name.
Yeah.
I don't care what you do in the bedroom. And I think that's what's wrong with society. We're so caught up worrying about what people do in the bedroom. Is it godly? Like, we're not God. So who am I to judge you? Who am I? I don't give a fuck what you do. All I care fuck what you do is you be nice to me and treat people the way you want to be treated.
Correct.
I don't worry about people's sexuality. If you go in the grocery store and swallow cucumbers, that's on you. Just don't swallow the one I'm going to buy. Don't lick shit and put it back. Keep it with you.
Well, I kept mine with me. I kept my motherfucking cucumber, goddammit.
I've seen your cucumber.
You a mess, Miss Pat. Don't you tell nobody these stories. But Miss Pat, this is the thing that I say. You gotta know. And I got in trouble because I said.
Where did you get in trouble?
Girl, because I motherfucker said that there's some white people shit. We didn't know about this stuff, and I didn't mean that it was white people shit. Like,
what are you talking about?
Okay, we were having a non-binary conversation.
Okay.
Non-binary people that's listening to the sound of my voice right now, I understand non-binary. I understand trans and non-binary. I understand it now. It took me a minute to get to the space. And I'm transgender. It took me a minute to get to the space, but I understand it. But I made a statement in my understanding, like, yo, there's some white people shit. We ain't know nothing about that. We just not.
Oh, non-binary.
Yes.
Well, I had a kid that tell me at the house that she was non-binary, and I don't know what it is.
I understand it now.
Well, I don't understand it. I mean, and I just told her, I said, I'm cool with whatever you are.
Yeah.
But we got a doctor's appointment tomorrow and the rest of these niggas can't come with you. So you leave him, them, there, and her, and you just bring me you. So it's too much, y'all. It's too much bullshit.
Wait, Miss Pat, you say you leave him, you leave him, there, her.
And you
come
the
to me,
nigga
yeah.
I know, come go with me. That's all I'm saying. So, for me, I don't try to understand. I respect. But I can't get into all of that, trans and non-binary. It's just too much. So, again, I go back to say, what is your name? And I'm going to respect you for who you are.
Yeah.
If whatever you want me to call you, that is what I will call you.
Yes.
But going deep diving into that sexuality, I don't know. I've been fucking since elementary school, and I just know one way, a man. I don't let him put my legs in the air. I don't turn over. I just do it like your old mom and daddy did it, straight up and straight down, and I get up and go do the dishes. I don't order no dildos off no Amazon. I don't suck on no tweeters. I don't do any of that. I have sex like it's 1962 because that's convenient for me. But but I got a daughter that's always talking about dicking bitches down. And I respect her. If they gonna let her put on that motherfucking plastic from Amazon and get her a yeast infection, and more power to you. And I just go, what I'm saying here, y'all, is I mind my fucking business.
Yeah.
Do what makes you happy. And that's what's wrong with the world. We're too busy trying to please everybody. If God sent his only begotten son here and y'all put him on the cross, if he couldn't please you, who the fuck am I?
Right.
Because you ain't put me on no cross out there, no son with no cocoa butter on me.
Yeah, and tell my dad for you niggas?
No, I'm not dying for none of you motherfuckers.
Fuck you hoe ass niggas.
Yes. And so, that's how I look at life.
Yes. But I be understanding when, sometimes when people from a generation say, well, I don't understand or whatever. And then I like you because you're progressive enough to be like, okay, I may not get it all.
Yes.
How do I respect you?
Tell me your name. That's all. Whatever you want me to be, you can be a butterfly. If you want me to say you a butterfly, that's what the fuck you are. I might not physically see a butterfly, but in your head, you might be a motherfucking butterfly. Now, I ain't gonna let you fly off a cliff because I got reality. Nigga, you can't fly, okay? But if you want to walk around this motherfucker and flap your hands like you a butterfly, then do you. Do you, because I don't want nobody fucking with me when I say I'm something that you might think I'm not. People tease me all the time. I was like, I lost 10 pounds, bitch, stop playing.
But Miss Pat, I respect that because you're not one of those people that over there like, well, I don't know what it is, and if his mama called him Clay, I'm gonna call him Clay. You like, okay, I don't know what it is, but what you want me to respect you as?
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
And I fuck up even in my own community, but I still turn around and I be like, yo, I've learned, like right now you just heard me say, I learned about, I understand trans, I understand none, but I understand it now. It took a person to sit me down because I was like, okay, well, I'm trans and you telling me you non-binary and
what is non-binary? It's just him, them, they, and her. Is they everything, right?
Well, non-binary is not adhering to any of the binary. Like they're not adhering to female, they're not adhering to male. They're non-binary. But I didn't understand, I understood that, but I didn't understand how some of them were telling me that they're trans. I was like, well, now hold on now, because these were my thoughts. See how I got this?
So non-binary is trans too. They everything.
Yes.
So they said him, them, they, and her.
Anything that challenges the norm, the binary norm, can fall under the trans umbrella. However, non-binary people just if they want to get up and they want to present how they can do that and still fall under because what challenges.
So they can be a man one day, a girl one day, or whatever they want to be. Fish, anything.
So the non-binary, they don't adhere to it. Like binary is male, female. Non-binary is like I'm not adhering to any of that.
It remind me of the movie Catch Me If You Can. You remember with Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yeah, yes.
He was everything. He was a pilot. He was a doctor. He was a pimp. He was, okay.
Non-binary.
Yeah.
Trans, some trans like me, my goal was to get to looking woman.
Mm-hmm.
So but I'm from a different time too.
Yes.
So I transitioned and during my transition time, we were solely focused on
Looking like a
passing.
woman.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? We were passing because not only it was for safety reasons too. Like we had to pass. Like bitch, you couldn't get up there and put no motherfucking wig on, and bitch, your name was Willie. You gonna always be motherfucking Willie. Now you get up there and you put on that wig and you pull yourself together and you get soft enough. You may be Wilhelmina.
Okay.
You might be Wilhelmina.
Okay.
Oh, that's Wilhelmina.
Okay.
That ain't Willie no more. That's Wilhelmina. Oh shit, you know. So I understand it. I understand it now. I did not at first like to see like how y'all trans and non-binary at the same time.
You can be both?
Well, it's anything that challenges the binary. It can fall under the trans umbrella. I got it. I can't explain it completely to you, Miss Pat.
Okay.
But y'all can get off my ass because I will fight you hoes in public.
Okay. Well, y'all make sure y'all fight her. I'm learning.
I'm learning too. I learn and I understand. So don't come over here jumping out, because they, it's sensitive. And I understand it being sensitive because people feel like they've been shut out and othered. I understand it.
Yes.
And
I understand the community.
I get it. So I don't want to say some fucked up shit and be a part of the community saying fucked up shit. But what I respect about you, Miss Pat, is that you saying, I don't got it all.
I don't.
But I'm willing to meet you where you at and respect you for what you are.
And that's all I can do.
And that's all you can do.
And that's all I want anybody to do for me. I mean, who am I to judge? And I tell people all the time, and since I started the Miss Pat show and I did those episodes about being a black gay parents, my audience with the community has grown tremendously. And a lot of people come up to me and always thank me for that episode because I'm glad as a black parent that I could be open-minded. And I've said some fucked up shit to my daughter and I've made some mistakes. But one thing she can always say that I was always supportive of her sexuality. I never shut her out. I never looked away. When I just asked her on the phone, I said, look, are you gay? She said, yes, ma'am. I said, well, come on back home to Atlanta. We live in Atlanta. You can eat a lot of pussy here. And I would feel safer if you was here with me than wherever the fuck you at and I ain't seen you in 3 years.
Yeah.
So, I would say this to parents, and I say this every night on stage. When your child, don't get caught up in the Bible and lose the person that you love. Because that's what will happen. If you truly think about if we all serving the same God, you gotta ask, did God love you through your sins? And who the fuck know if this even a sin? We don't really know the rules of the world or the rules of the Bible. This shit was wrote by a couple white men and a dog. Who say they didn't get it wrong? We won't really know until we see if God is real and we one day in front of him. But until that day come, I say this to all parents. If your child is gay, then respect who they are and support who they are. Because a lot of time, you don't know what the fuck you're killing. You could be killing the fashion designer, a movie director. You could be killing the president. You don't know what you are killing when you got that child because of the sexuality that you don't like. That child gonna have to come back one day and maybe have to take care of you. But you sitting here because you say God don't love gay people. All them motherfucker had on white wigs back in the day. Mm-hmm. Some of them people with them wooden teeth and white wigs might be in heaven when you get there if heaven is real. Mm-hmm. So I say this to any parents that's listening and who think that their child is gay. 9 times out of 10, your child is gay. and from one gay parent to another, I will ask you to support who that child is. And instead of putting gasoline on that flower, water that flower so it can grow.
Yep.
And that's what I would say as a parent. Because as a black community, when it come down to sexuality and being gay, we probably some of the worst communities when it come down to that. We taught the black man he can't cry, which he should be able to cry. We taught the black man he can't be gay, the black woman, you can't be happy, all of that bullshit. And as a community, when do it stop? When do we say as a parent, it's time to support who you are, not what I want you to be? Mm-hmm. I was talking to somebody and I said, one of the things that I've learned since I've had a few dollars that was legal in my life, we fuck up as black parents because as soon as that child turn 18, we tell them to get the fuck out of our house. We're the only race that does that. Italians don't do it. White people don't do it. Mexicans don't do it. We just throw our kids out to the wolves. I remember one time my husband was building a house and this girl was 28 years old and it was in Buckhead. It was back in the 90s. And she was building a $500,000 house back then. You can imagine what it's worth now. Mm-hmm. And she had stayed with her parents the whole time and saved her money. And I remember my husband coming home and telling me that story, Madison. And that always stuck with me. Because when Ashley went to college, I said, oh, it's time for y'all to get out. And then I realized, I said, but get out with what? I don't have anything for her. I don't have anything saved for her, no future. I'm just throwing my child out. And I had to go back and deal with myself. And so when I was building that house you see I have built now, and I tell my kids, you ain't got to go no fucking well. Save your money. So when you leave up out of here, you can pay for your house cash, like the story my husband told me about this little white girl in Buckhead. But as black parents, that's what we do. You 18. It's time for you to go. No, it's not. It's time for you to continue to help them grow. Now, everybody got that one piece of shit in their life.
Yeah.
Everybody got that one kid. I was on the phone with mine last night that you got to constantly knock upside the head. But you got to love that one too. You do. And that's what I've learned from being a black parent. You know, stop that shit kicking them out. Stop that shit worrying about their sexuality. We got to learn to support them more.
Yeah. So Miss Pat, I want to go back just a bit to your personal life. You've been shot.
Mm-hmm.
You've been raped.
Yes.
You done hustled.
Yes.
You done did it all. Sold drugs.
Dropped out of school. Had 2 kids at 15. By the time I was 15, what a married man. I made a lot of mistakes. I have. But, you know, I look back over my life, and I've told this story a million times. To have the kids that I have with the 8th grade education, I ain't do that damn bad. I had 2 kids that went to college. Everybody graduated high school. And I've never been a person that pushes my kids to college. I always told my kids, do what make you happy. Because a lot of people go to college and never use that fucking degree. When there was always a star in you that you never lit because your parents say, oh, you got to go to college. Now, I'm big on education, but I'm also big that you can make just as much money by making your own soap or doing hair or whatever the fuck you want to do. But I think back in those days, we didn't support kids to follow their dreams, what was deep down in them. Because society said, oh, you got to go to college. You got to get in debt. The American dream is buying a house. That was one of the biggest lies I was ever told. And I was working at a doctor's office one day, and this guy came in, and I was trying to buy a house at the time. I'm getting off Section 8, and I was like, I just want the American dream, you know, white picket fence, and then, you know, I just want to buy a house. And he looked at me, he said, that's the fucked up shit they teach black people in America. He said, but white people teach their kids to own a Chick-fil-A, to own a franchise, to do this and do other shit, while we just struggling to pay for a house for 30 years, which is nothing but debt. So I just learned to say, I'm going to support my kids, whatever they try to do. Now, some of the shit be dumb as fuck, T.S. Madison.
Yeah.
They be dumb.
Yeah.
And I be trying to talk them out of them. But I also try to stay positive because it takes some of us a little longer to find ourselves than others.
It does, Miss Pat. But the great thing about it is like me being trans and me having my mother in my life.
It's wonderful.
I couldn't ask for anything more.
Yes.
Because being out in the world, like facing the world alone and having to run into, because there's so many different personalities and shit. Personality people.
Can you imagine so many kids like yourself that face the world without a supportive parent? You know, I didn't know that so many gay kids go homeless and stuff because of how their parents treat them. My daughter taught me all of this shit. And I'm like, what? Who would put their kids out for sexuality? I mean, I would be honest. Don't suck dick in my house. Look here, you gonna be sucking on dick in my house now.
Well,
Can't be sucking on pussy in my house.
Where's we gonna suck dick?
Well, you gonna have to go outside in the barn. Now, this is when Jesus come into play. Don't nobody fuck in my house but me. And I don't care who you are, boy or girl. But whatever you, don't do the shit in my house. But as far as just doing, you know, disowning my child, I would never do that. Not even my lazy child.
But what I like about you, Miss Pat, is you bring your kids to work with you, like to teach them, and you give them jobs at work.
You damn right, because they keep them asking me for my money. Well, you know, my son. I have 2 sons that work on the set, and one of them was really interested in construction, and the other one's into lighting, but he kind of float around. And so my daughter Ashley, she does makeup, and my other daughter always been so funny. And when I got the show and I told Jordan, I was like, you might think I'm bullshit, but I think this girl know how to write. And that's the only child I have with like 3 degrees. And I said, I'm telling you, she's fucking hilarious. She's like me, but educated, like highly educated. She's too black sometimes, T.S. And he was like, oh, I don't know. She ain't never wrote. And I said, listen to me. Fucking hire my daughter. And we hired her, and Jordan trained her, and she's a really fucking good writer. I remember writing the first season. We were writing the first season of Miss Pat show, and we wrote a joke. And you know how sometimes as a comedian you can hear a joke, but you don't know you heard that joke. Mm-hmm. And my daughter came in, she said, Tyler Perry did that on this episode of that. And I was like, what? And every time we wrote something, she could tell you if she had heard it before and could pull it up. And it really challenged me and Joy to really watch the things that we said, to the jokes that we wrote. Because Garyana was always there to say, that ain't original. Even though as me, as a comedian who don't watch a lot of TV, thinking that I done wrote something, and she said, they already did that. And I think that's what people love about the Miss Pat show, because you ain't never heard that shit. You ain't never heard the jokes that we gonna put out. Because we and you've been there.
Yeah.
So we don't just say one joke. We might run 5 or 10 jokes that day. And the best one hits. That's the one we take. And so I have a writer, a makeup, one in lighting and one in construction. And I told him, I said, if this is where you want to be at, then really work hard. Think about your own shit.
Listen, for me to come there and see all your kids on set, and your daughter done did my makeup before. Mm-hmm. I love your daughter.
She loves you too.
I love her, girl. That's my Judy. You know what I'm saying? And people should take a page out of y'all book of being black parents that don't put their kids out at 18.
Yes.
Make provisions for them to acquire wealth, acquire something without forcing them to be out there on the...
You know where I learned that from?
Tell me.
Lee Daniels. Mm-hmm. So this is Lee Daniels' show, him and Ron Howard. And I went to Ron Howard Company. I found a producer by the name of John Rattler, executive producer by the name of John Rattler, brought me in and said that Lee Daniels was trying to create a sitcom. And so that was Ron Howard Company. And then I meet Lee Daniel, and then I go on a couple of his sets. And then when I think I went on a Star, and his relatives was there. He said, I'm not going to give you anything, but I'm going to give you a job. And I just watched Lee Daniel that whole time of those years that I was working, we was working on the Miss Pat show, and I just said, this is what I'm going to do. Mm-hmm. And as soon as I got the opportunity, I said, my kids got to get a job.
Yeah. Because Girly, that was his sister Girly. She was doing the wardrobe, but some Girly was doing. He got his Leah. She does the casting.
And I learned that from Lee. And that's how you take care of your family. And he always take care of his family. He always take care of people around him. He really do.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's one thing I would say about Lee Daniel. He is, and if I call him, he might cuss me out and I might say a few things to him, but one thing I know is if I really need him, he's going to be there. Mm-hmm. And that's where I learned that from.
Mm. And all of his kids they got a wealthy daddy. Shit. Lee Daniel's richer than the motherfucker. They got a wealthy daddy.
I think last time I talked to Lee Daniel, he had bought some vampire blood.
Yo, child. I don't know what he called me the other day. He was like, bitch, we're developing my biopic.
I think I saw that.
Yeah, we're developing my stuff. So we got a lot of works together. Because he told me, like, bitch, you my transsexual Miss Pat. Bitch, you know how you talk? Bitch, you my transsexual Miss Pat. Bitch, it's like, bitch, you say you bitches are brilliant. You bitches are brilliant.
He know how to make a black woman win an award.
Yeah.
He really do. He know how to bring out the best in them. Yeah. He just came to see our show for the first time out of 5 seasons. He had never been to the set. And it was so funny because I kept fucking up. He don't know. I hate the monologue. And it's something I usually get the day before, and I have to fucking say it off the top of my head. And he screamed out, "Stop fucking up because I'm here." And I said, "I ain't fucking up because you here. I fuck up every week."
And he fell out laughing. He fell out.
But he loved, what I love about Lee is that, it was his show, and he found Jordan for me, and he literally said, "Go off and make this show," and he never fucked with us. I honestly, that was the first time Lee had ever visited that set, because when he was shooting the pilot, when I shot the pilot in LA, he was shooting a movie.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the name of the movie with Audrey Day in it. What was that movie?
Billy Holiday. US versus Billy Holiday. Mm-hmm.
He was shooting that movie, so he couldn't make it to the pilot. And so, it took us a year or so before it got picked up, and we chose it. I live here in Atlanta, so we chose to do it here in Atlanta. So he never really came down. But, he just literally had me and Jordan a show.
Mm-hmm.
And he was always there to support and fight for the things that we needed. And it's kind of weird handing two motherfuckers a show who had never did a goddamn show.
But that's because he's a visionary.
Yes.
He put y'all in the same where he shot Star.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I came to work at the Miss Pat show, I said, "Oh, I done been down here to work," because I used to do the interviews and stuff at Star, and I would go down there to the set sometimes or whatever, and I would sit in his office. It's just like, it's so crazy how we be in each other's lives, but in some dimension, this how we connected.
Yeah. And he's a good person. I would say that. And I don't say it enough to him because he's so busy, but honestly, I thank him. I thank him for believing in me and Jordan. I thank him for fighting for all the times he had to get on that phone and fight for the things he had to fight for. Giving us the opportunity. I just want to say, me and Jordan, I know for a fact that we're very appreciative of what he done for us with the Miss Pat show. And I would never forget it. Because there was so many bumps in the road along the way that we had to call Lee to remove those speed bumps for us. And he was right there.
Mm-hmm.
And he was ready to fight. And he was ready to cuss and holler and scream. So, Lee, if you're watching this podcast, I would like to say thank you for supporting us. Because I don't think we would be here without you 5 seasons in and 3 Emmy nominations. So, we appreciate you.
So, you going to the Emmys this year, too?
No, we didn't get our episode in time. Oh. No, we're not going. I don't have to go to the Emmys. Award season is really for somebody like Jordan. I'm the people champ. The people is what keeps me on. Them tuning in, them waiting on it, them being patient, them talking about it, them tweeting about it. I've seen people win Emmys and get canceled that same month.
Oh!
That's TV. But to be here after 5 seasons on such a new network like BET Plus and have the support that we have had, we got our audience out the dirt. Because, baby, we got dogged the fuck out for me cussing and me saying the N-word and all of this crazy stuff, the things that we talked about, and black people like, that's not a representation of my family. I said, I ain't talking about you, nigga. I'm talking about my family.
Yeah.
But now I think the audience have calmed down and learned to accept that there's a black mama that cuss. There's a black aunt that cuss. I'm in everybody's family, whether you try to deny me or not. I wasn't going anywhere. Not as long as the true people that were still watching. And they are. We 5 seasons in and I get asked every time, when are you coming back? When are you coming back, Miss Pat? We're coming back December the 11th.
That's right.
So y'all leave me the fuck alone.
That's right.
And if you keep watching, maybe we can get a season 6. And I'm just thankful that we could even go this long on a BET Plus. With our little one show, I'm just so thankful. If this is the last season, all I can say is me and Jordan did what we came to do. We just wanted to make it to 5 seasons. Everything else is gravy. Everything else is gravy. My cast, I look at them. I've seen how much we've grown. It's a family outside of my family. To be able to work on a set where everybody like each other, that is a miracle. Tammy feel like my real sister, and I say this all the time. And people, I have to argue with people in the street because they really think that man is my husband. That is not my husband. But no matter what I needed, that cast I'm the comedian. I was the least experienced actor on the thing. on the show. But not one time did I ever feel that they ever made me feel like I was beneath them. And I don't think it's because it was the Miss Pat show either. I think they cared about me. That's what I believe.
Well, your story gave them a job.
Well, I don't even think it was that. They was just, I genuinely think that they do appreciate the job, I hope. But I also think that they wanted me to win. I'm being honest with you. There was not a time that Daddy didn't step up to help. The kids didn't step up to help. Tammy didn't step up to help. They all had their individual times where they would pull me to the side and help me with something. Because acting wasn't my thing.
Yeah, it wasn't mine either. And then I got introduced to it or whatever. That's why I was over there. I was nervous because I was like, I'm going to tell you why I was nervous.
Why? We're the most homegrown family, backyard barbecue.
I was nervous because it was Lee. I'm going to tell you this.
He wasn't even there.
I know. But I'm going to tell you this. I done went and did movies and shit, did great jobs in movies.
Mm-hmm.
I was nervous on the Miss Pat show is because I've always taken Lee's criticism to a different level. I'm just something I done told him I'm going to share it with you. And like I worked with him, and I never got on Star. Like never actually was a character on Star.
Mm-hmm.
I worked all around through Star, like being interviewing and doing the stuff, whatever. And I went and I auditioned once, and he called my phone and tore me up. Bitch, I just feel like you could do. And I was like,
it's love.
It was.
It was love.
It was
because Jordan did that to me too. He was like. I remember season 3, and he was like, oh my God, you have improved. Every year he would say, you have improved so much. You improved so much. But deep down inside, I'm a comedian. That's what I love. That's the thing I can control. And I can take a criticism from him or Lee or anybody. It only makes me better. So for Lee to say that to you is because he cared. Because he could have said, oh, that bitch can't act and kept moving. But for him to call you.
He called me. He watched it. He's like, bitch, do this. And it made me do this. And so by the time I got to come do the Miss Pat show, and I knew that he
had never been at that time.
But Miss Pat, I knew his name was on it. And I was like, this bitch, I said, he's going to wear me out. Like,
no, he's not. Because we're not going to let you fail at the Miss Pat show. And you know that. And there was times I said, come here, T, redo it like this. And then I had the acting coach and whatever. I mean, if it wasn't right, we're never gonna. At the Miss Pat show, we never gonna let you fail.
Yeah,
from makeup to hair to acting
I'm
to
way
anything.
better now.
I know you are.
Should you throw a bitch in there? Give me the line. I learned this bitch in 30 seconds. But it was because. And when he watched this show, he's gonna call me and say, "Bitch, why you told?" Because he tore me up and he never gave me a chance to be on Star. And that hurt me. And he told me, because I interviewed him in one of my car chats. And he was like, well, bitch, why you didn't call me and tell me that? I said, because I thought you knew. Like you gave everybody else a job over there, but you ain't give me no motherfucking job. You had me doing all of the core work, which was doing the promos and doing all this stuff and sitting with the big stars, whatever. I said, I said, nigga, you ain't even let me come on that bitch and smoke a motherfucking cigarette.
Let me say this to you. So I did get an opportunity to do Star. So Lee, I don't remember what I was doing. At the time, he was shooting Billie Holiday.
Mm-hmm.
And so he said, Miss Pat, I'm going to fly you to Canada and I'm going to put you in Billie Holiday. He wrote a whole scene for me. I was so happy because that was a big movie. And he cut me out. And I never told anybody that. He cut me out. And he called and told me he was going to cut me out. And I didn't give a fuck. My check cleared. That's the first time I ever told anybody I was in Billie Holiday. I'm in the cut scenes, but I was in there. He cut me the fuck out.
So he did you like he did me.
Well, let me say this to you. I don't think what he created and the movie was so long, I don't think it fitted. I don't fucking know. And that's why I don't ever tell people I'm in something until it come all the way out. I keep my mouth shut. And I'm so glad that this is the first time I ever told anybody I was in that movie. Nobody knew I was in that movie but me, Jordan, and Lee, and my husband. I don't even think my kids knew I flew out to Canada to do that.
Wow.
I never told anybody. And he didn't cut a little bit. He cut me completely out of the movie.
But listen, you had the Miss Pat show.
I did. And I didn't, you know what? It didn't bother me. You know, he called and he told me I didn't fit. That's fine. That shit happens. You know, and if the check didn't clear, everybody been cussed the fuck out.
Yeah.
But the check cleared. And it was an opportunity. It was an opportunity that I'll never forget. And shit happens.
He gonna watch this show. He gonna cuss both our ass the fuck out. He gonna definitely cuss me out. All right, y'all. Well, Miss Pat, listen, I love you. Thank you for giving us that exclusive. Thank you for evolving. Thank you for telling bitches out there to evolve. Thank you. Thank you for being Miss Pat. Ladies and gentlemen, tell us where they can find you at, Miss Pat. They should know, but
go to misspatcomedy.com and you can get all my tour schedule. I'm working on developing my second special. So, and I have a new book coming out soon. So, and you know, season 3 of the Miss Pat Settles It will be here, and season 5 of the Miss Pat Show. So just keep tuning in to everything misspatcomedy.com.
That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight on BET, Miss Pat Settles It season 3 is premiering. So make sure that you are tuned in to Miss Pat Settles It tonight on BET, baby.
And can I just say, this is the funniest season yet. When I tell you y'all ain't ready for season 3 of the Miss Pat Settles It, you put on your pamper and your Depends. You're going to piss yourself. Thank y'all so much.
We had a good season, though, Miss Pat. I don't give a fuck what. I'm coming back for season 4.
You damn right you are.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Oh, my God.